लाल की जय। बोले गीता माता की जय, राधा रानी की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्। अश्वत्थाम अद्वैतामृतवर्तनी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवत् गीते भवद्वेषे। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायत पत्रनेत्रे येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्ण प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीप प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोतवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञान मुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्रावती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थाम्रिकर्ण घोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरननदी कैवर्तकः केशव पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरम् हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः शेषम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, गीता माता की जय, राधा रानी की जय। आदरणीय पंडित जी, प्रिय सज्जनों, प्रिय भक्त समुदाय, महानुभाव, Worship of Pandit ji, dearest devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Divine Souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humble prostrations to all of you. Tonight, on this occasion of Gita Jayanti, we are celebrating Gita Jayanti today. Today, December 3rd, this occasion where Sri Krishna personified he brought forth the divine book called Bhagavad Gita. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the very sacred place called Kurukshetra, in the battle of Mahabharata, the war is about to begin. Something happened to Arjuna. Became faint-hearted, seeing his elders, teachers, relatives, friends identifying with the body, pretending to be ignorant because not knowing that I am the soul, the Atma. Arjuna felt he was going to kill. His bow, the Gandhi, fell from his hand. Gandivam sansate hastat tyakchaiva paridahyate nacha shaknome vastatum brahmati vachame manah eva muktva sankhe ratho pastau pavishat visijja sachanam chapam shoka sanvigna manasa. Chapter 1, verse 30 and 47. Arjuna says, Shri Krishna, my bow, the Gandhi, slips from my hand. My skin is burning with fire. My mind is full of confusion and I'm unable to even stand steady. Having said these words, he threw down the bow and arrow, sat down on the seat of the chariot and said to Shri Krishna, I'm not going to fight. Shri Krishna asked, why? He said, my teachers, relatives, gurus, elders, friends, etc. are going to die in this battle. Women will become widows, they'll become characterless, children will become orphans, bastards. This is a very bad action. For this, I'll have to go to hell. Then he says, Karpanya dosho pata svabhava prichham tvam dharma sammudha cheta yached yasyanishitam bruhitasme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Chapter 2, verse 7, Gita. Please, Krishna, please guide me as to what I should do. If I'm unable to decide the right course of action due to the extreme bewilderment of my mind, I seek your guidance as your fully surrendered disciple. He made Shri Krishna his Guru. Shri Krishna told Arjuna, if you don't, this is the gist of what we heard, if you don't fight this battle, it's a bad action for which you will go to hell. Arjuna was confused. How is it a bad action? We're not doing anything. Shri Krishna said, because you're a Kshatri, you're a member of the warrior class, and so it's your duty to fight the war. Okay? If I fight the war, it's a bad action for which I go to hell. What happens if I fight the battle? Shri Krishna says, Hato va praptasi swargam jitva va bhokshase mahim. Chapter 2, verse 37, Gita. Arjuna, If you're killed, hato va praptasya swargam. If you're killed while fighting this battle, you will go to heaven. You're Kshatri, fighting righteous battle, and you die, you go to heaven. Swarga. On the other hand, if you're victorious, you win, you'll become king of the world. Either way, you emerge a winner. One of these is bound to. Then Arjuna asks to Sri Krishna, will I find true peace, true happiness in heaven? Sri Krishna says, Tetam bhuktva svargalokam vishalam kshine punye martalokam vishanti evam taridham anupanna gatagatam kama kama labhanti. Chapter 9 verse 21 Gita. No other. When you perform dharma, etc., you acquire something called punya, which will decide which heaven you go to and for how long. But as you start enjoying the pleasures of heaven, what happens? Kshine punya. That punya starts destroying, and one day is going to finish. And then, maritalokam vishanti, you'll be kicked out. And because karma has become zero, you have to start all over again. You'll be thrown into the womb of dog, cat, donkey, worm. Bhagwan Shri Ram says in the Ramayana, Anta dukkadai, ehi tarna kar palla vishayana bhai, swargahu swalpa anta dukkadai. This human birth which devatas are begging and praying for was not given to go to heaven, because there is no true happiness there. Swalpa. And the worst part, it ends in suffering. After you go to heaven, you have to come back here and suffer. So Arjuna said, Krishna, so it means I have to avoid heaven. And I did not ask you about the pleasures of this material world, since I have experienced them during my kingship, and I know for a fact there's not even the tiniest drop of happiness to be found in the world. So I am trapped on all sides. If I refuse to fight the battle, I go to hell. If I fight the battle, I attain heaven or this material world. On all sides there's bondage. Shri Krishna said yes. This is what I am saying. Do not perform the action of fighting the battle. Do not perform the action of not fighting the battle. And fight the battle. Again, Arjuna was very confused. Shri Krishna explained, and we have been hearing this during the night. The nights so far. We heard that the mind alone is the performer of the action. The whole responsibility lies with the mind. So much so, at one point Shri Krishna says, this mind is our best friend and this mind is our worst enemy. Worst enemy, in that this mind will take us to hell, will make us rotate in 8.4 million forms of life. But the same mind can take me to Bhagavan. So far, this mind has been our greatest enemy. From uncountable lifetimes, we will rotate in 8.4 million forms of life. Now we have to make the mind our friend. To do that, Shri Krishna told Arjuna, you have to do sadhana. Going alone in a place of seclusion, ekanti. Meditate on Shri Krishna. Practice discipline. Control the mind. Do not sleep too much, nor sleep too little. Eat too much, nor eat too little. Drink too much, nor drink too little. Be careful what you eat, what you drink. Everything you eat or drink affects the mind. If you want to control this mind, you have to be very strict and very disciplined. Plus sadhana. Meditate on Shri Krishna. Chant in the name of Shri Krishna. Focus in the mind. Slowly, slowly. Arjuna said, how to control the mind? Chanchalam vimanam Krishna pramati balavad dirham tasyaham nigaham manya vayuriva sudushkaram. This mind is so strong, turbulent, unyielding. It's more difficult to control the mind than it is to control the wind. Chapter 6 verse 34. And Shri Krishna agreed. Asanshaya mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. Yes, I agree with you 100%. Arjuna, the mind is very difficult to control, but not impossible. How? Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate Chapter 6, verse 35, Gita. Through constant practice and detachment, the mind can be controlled. So, Sri Krishna told Arjuna, how to do this, not perform the battle of fight in the war. Do not perform the action of fight in the war. Do not perform the action of not fight in the war and fight the war. Since the mind alone is the performer of the action, God knows only where the mind is, not the physical sense organs, action. You could do all the puja, all the havan, all the bhajan, all the kirtan. Visit all the places of pilgrimage. Read all the Vedas, Gita, Ramayana, Bhagavad. But if the mind is not attached to Sri Krishna, not focused on Sri Krishna, it's like multiplying by zero. 0 multiplied by 0, 0. 0 multiplied by 1,000, 0. 0 multiplied by 1,000,000,000,000, still 0. Because the mind, this is what most important. So Sri Krishna says, Tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. This is a sadhana. Tasma sarveshu, at all places, kaleshu, at all time, ma manusmara, attach your heart, your mind to me, and yudhyacha, your kshatri, do your duty, fight the war. So practicing to attach the mind to God. This is what the sadhana is. When you go in seclusion, you sit by yourself and you meditate. You meditate on what? On Sri Krishna. On loving Sri Krishna, making a relationship with Him. Attaching the heart, the mind to Him. It won't happen right away. This is why Sri Krishna said regular practice. This problem of uncountable lifetime is not going to be fixed in a few months, a few years, even. It will take time. It will take time. But we have to persevere. If we persevere and we work hard, Sri Krishna says in Gita, that last night the Katha, he said, once you persevere and you work hard, this is my conclusion, this is my opinion, that anyone can control the mind. It is possible. Most possible. So, this is what is called, Gita is Karma Yoga. But people don't understand what Karma Yoga means. Karma means duty. What is duty? There's 4 varna. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And there are 4 ashram, stages of life. Brahmacharya, celibacy. Grihasti, householder's life. Vanaprasthi, retired in the forest. Sannyas, complete detachment. There are rules and regulations. Impossible in Kali Yuga to do. That is karma. And attaching the mind to God, that is bhakti, devotion. But so doing karma, your duty, with the mind attached to God, that is called karma yoga. So since the mind is attached to God, your karma will be, we cannot do in Kali Yuga. All rules and regulations. No problem, because the mind is attached to Sri Krishna, we get the fruit of where the mind is attached. God does not know what you do with the physical sense organ. Where the mind is at that time. You're doing puja and you're thinking about the house, you're thinking that you have to go and meet this person, you have to go and do this wrong action. And you're doing puja. So what is Bhagavan noting? Where the mind is, not what you're doing physically. This is what's important, and that's why we don't benefit, because we don't understand what or who is the true performer of the action. God knows where the mind is. You could do all the job, sing all the bhajan, etc. Read all the scripture. But if the mind is not attached to God, no benefit. So this is very difficult. This is why Arjuna is saying it's so difficult. He was saying, I don't think it's possible. But Sri Krishna said, yes, it's very possible. If you do what I tell you to do. Meditate on Sri Krishna, the sadhana, practice attaching the mind to Sri Krishna, bhakti, and yes, do your duty. Practice discipline. Practice discipline. Control in the mind. Don't eat whatever you feel like eating. Drink whatever you feel like drinking. Look at whatever you feel like looking at. One who wants to practice bhakti, devotion, has to be careful of 5 things. We have 5 sense organs. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. Desire to hear. What do you hear? Sparsh. Desire to feel, to touch. Roop, desire to see. Ras, desire to taste. Gandh, desire to smell. In all these 5, if any of them takes our mind away from God, that is kusam, bad association. So true bhakta, true sadhak, tries to keep all the senses on those things, will keep the mind attached to Bhagavan. This is sadhana. You have to practice. It doesn't happen just like that, as I said. So, this is what Sri Krishna is saying to Arjuna. I think it is most possible. Iti me mati. Chapter 6, verse 36. I think it is most possible. It can happen. Just forgot to mention, tonight, Katha, this Gita part tonight is being sponsored by Ashti Gosain. And this is for her late father, Ivan Gosain, and herself. So, I want to thank them. This is a nice path. So tonight, then the question, then Sri Krishna, then Arjuna asks a question. Sri Krishna says it's most possible. Remember the question I left you here last night. Sri Krishna asks, Arjuna asks Sri Krishna, Ayati Shraddha Yopeto Yoga Chalati Manasa Aprapya Yoga Sansiddhim Kam Gatim Krishna Gachati. So I'm going to go in great detail, like this question was left last night. Arjuna says to Sri Krishna, for one having faith, yes, he wants to do bhakti, he wants to be a devotee. It's not like he doesn't care about God. Like a lot of people in the world, they have no time. Only time they will think about God or pray to God if there's some problem. Somebody says to them they have a gra, they have a big problem. Somebody gets sick. Some problem, then very quick, I need to do a puja, I need to go and pray, I need to offer some jal. Otherwise, we have no time with Bhagavan. That's not faith. That's business. Only when you need something, hey Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan. No, not like that. So someone has faith in God, has interest, possessing that, but is unable to control the mind. The mind is so wayward. As he said, more difficult to control than the wind. This mind is so difficult. So because of that, he strays away from the sadhana, from practicing. Doesn't practice properly. I mean, he's practicing, but not 100%. So what happens to such a person? What end does they meet? Do they lose everything? Is that the end? So before we go into that, we'll do bhajan. Beautiful bhajan. This bhajan says, Gau sab mil radhe, 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 radhe. Chant the name of God. Everyone, chant the name of God, the name of Radha Rani. Any name, Radha Rani is we mention here. Radha and Krishna are one and the same. Whether we say Radha or Krishna, they are one and the same. keep saying this over and over. Ved says, Yam Radha Yashtra Krishna Sabit Dehas Chaika Kiranata Dvidha Bhut Atharva Vedi Radhika Tapana Upanishad. The Vedas say there is no question of Radha and Krishna being two. They don't even have two bodies. There's one supreme Brahm, supreme power, and that supreme God, supreme power takes two forms. Do roop. For what? Krida. Krida means Leela, divine pastimes. So the scripture says, Radhika Krishna Rupam Cha Krishna Radha Swarupakaha Sanakumar Samgita. Radha Rani is the form of Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna is the form of Radha Rani. Don't see difference. And I told you, Radha is so special that Shri Krishna worships her. Why? Atma tu Radhika tasya. The Vedas say Radha Rani is the Atma, the soul of Shri Krishna. Someone is chanting Radhe Radhe, chanting the name of Bhagavan Krishna, but you get tired. So thakahu naam gati jab Radhe to shwash shwash. The saint says, you tired singing, the mouth gets tired, so with breath. When you breathe in, think. Ra. Breathe out, de. Swash, swash. Take the energy. Jab thaki jahu tabahu tu. You get tired doing that also. To sumidi and nitya. Then just meditate. Just remain quiet and meditate on Radha Rani and Shri Krishna. Karu kirtan ya jap radhe, dhyan sahit karu radhe. Whether we are doing kirtan, we are chanting loudly, or we just sitting quietly and meditating. Just taking the name silently in our mind, meditating on the form is most important. The mind. It's not just taking the word, the name of God like a parrot is not going to benefit us unless we meditate. You're saying Shiv, Shiv, Shiv. Think about Shivji a little bit first. Put him to stand in front of you. Or meditate on it. Ram, 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 Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is called Mahamantra, Hare Ram. Hare means the name of Shri Krishna. In Sanskrit, Hare, Hey Krishna. You are calling, you are addressing Shri Krishna, Hey Krishna. Like we call somebody in the world, Hey Panditji. So in the same way you are calling Shri Krishna, at least think about him first. Right? So meditate. Ek dhyan karu man radhe kare samne. One thing you pay attention, put Radha Rani, put Shri Krishna to stand in front of you. Do jo dhyan karahu nitya. Second thing, I have the feeling that very quickly I'm going to meet Radha Rani, I'm going to meet Shri Krishna. Nija Guru Ishta Bhakti me Ananya, be exclusive in your devotion when it comes to Guru, when it comes to the path, etc. Rahadhura bhavana katahu, udasin rahu. Don't have bad feelings, negative feelings for anyone in the world. Positive, negative attaches the mind. Be neutral. Having negative feeling is very bad. Don't have that. Sabamaha rahu kripalu tavarade ihai bhava rakura. The last line, Jagat Gurutam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu says, see God, Radha Rani, Shri Krishna sitting in the heart of everyone. This will keep you from having negative feeling, bad feeling for anyone. Gao sab hili mili Radhe, 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 Radhe. Gao sab hili mili. Oh, gao sab hili Radhe, 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 Radhe. Gao सकहु नाम गाते जब राधे, सकहु नाम, सकहु नाम गाते जब राधे, सकहु नाम गाते जब राधे। ओ श्वास श्वास जब राधे, 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 राधे। दास जब राधे 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 राधे। गाओ सब ही राधे 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 राधे। गाओ सब ही राधे 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 राधे। जब थकी जाऊं तब तो राधे, जब थकी जाऊं तब तो राधे। ओ सुमीरी अनंत छवि राधे 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 राधे। ओ सुमीरी अनंत छवि राधे 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 राधे। करो कीर्तन या जप राधे, करो कीर्तन या जप राधे। It's 24, you can get a book. Look in the book, the books over here. करो कीर्तन या जप राधे, करो कीर्तन या जप राधे। ओ ध्यान सहित करो राधे 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 राधे। ध्यान सहित करो राधे 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 राधे। एक ध्यान करो मन महाराधे, एक ध्यान करो मन महाराधे। ओ हरि सामने राधे 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 राधे। ओ हरि सामने राधे 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 राधे। तू जो ध्यान करहु नित राधे, तू जो ध्यान करहु नित राधे। ओ निज निज राधे 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 राधे। ओ निज निज राधे 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 राधे। ओ गाओ सब ही राधे 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 राधे। ओ गाओ सब ही राधे 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 राधे। निज गुरु इष्ट भक्ति में राधे, निज गुरु इष्ट भक्ति में राधे। ओ रहा अन्यमति राधे 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 राधे। ओ रहा अन्यमति राधे 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 राधे। रह दुर्भावन कतहु राधे, रह दुर्भावन कतहु राधे। उदास राधे 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 राधे। उदासीन राधे 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 राधे। सब महरह कृपालु तव राधे, सब महरह कृपालु तव राधे। ओ विहे भाव राधे 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 राधे। ओ विहे भाव राधे 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 राधा रानी की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Again Arjun says to Bhagavan Krishna, Kaschinno bhaya vibhrashtish छिन्नाभ्रमिव नश्यति अप्रतिष्ठो महाबाहो विमूढ़ो ब्रह्मणः पति। हे महाबाहो, हे Shri Krishna, having not attained such success in the material world as well as the spiritual world, Ubhaya, neither here, neither there. Because this person, a devotee, one who is a true devotee, who has love for God, doesn't have interest in the material world. So he makes less or no efforts, he or she, towards uplifting material. Getting a big job, getting a big bank balance, having all his position in the world. No effort is made. So doesn't succeed in the material world. And because the sadhana was very strong, doesn't succeed in the spiritual world also. So does a person become like a spent cloud? The cloud is coming, but all the rain fell somewhere else. When it reached by you, nothing. So it's like a spent cloud. Abhram means a cloud, spent cloud. So there's no position anyway for that person. Na idhar, na udhar. What is the condition of such a person? Bhagavan Krishna answers Arjuna. Partha naiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschid durgati tata gacchati. The verse before, chapter 6 verse 38, this is chapter 6 verse 40. Shri Krishna says, look, Arjuna, there's absolutely no loss. Koi hani nahi. There's no loss. Here or hereafter. Vinashyaha iha namutra. Iha namutra. Neither here nor hereafter, there's no loss for one who does bhakti. Kalyanakrit. The word Kalyanakrit means bhakti. Who does that which uplifts, beneficial to the soul, Atma. Kalyanakrit. The only thing can do that, bhakti. So the one who does bhakti, there's no durgati. There's no, such a person is never downgraded, doesn't go lower down. It goes up, doesn't go lower down, not downgraded, nor is overcome by evil. You should not worry. I'm doing bhakti, someone is thinking I'm doing bhakti, I'm trying my best. Yes, but I did not attain God realization. I didn't do my sadhana properly, the way Guru wanted me to. I felt I was lazy, sometimes careless. Sometimes I listened to the mind. So is all my effort wasted? No. Whatever bhakti you have done, whatever love you have attained in the heart for God, whatever percentage, 0.1%, that is beneficial for sadhus, for the soul. Generally people are not having. So even if you have 0.1%, you still belong to a rare category, a very rare category. Someone having attachment for God. It's the majority of people in the world. Yes, they're going to church, they're going to masjid, they're going to mandir, they're doing puja, they're doing havan, they're doing all the different things, going to places of pilgrimage. But why? Because they love God? No. Because they think that they can get something from God. They can win the lotto, they'll get a good job, they'll get cure from disease, sicknesses, they'll pass their exam. Otherwise people have no time. There's no interest. Nobody wants to know God, to find God. Very few. That's called mumukshu, jigyasu. That's very rare. That's a great grace from God. A long and a yearning to see God, to find God. This is very extremely rare. Shankaracharya says, Durlabham trayam evaita devanugrah karakam manushyattvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha sambhava. Three things, the most difficult to attain. And that too, only when God will shower His grace. Devanugrah. These are the three biggest blessings God can shower. Number one, manushyattvam, human birth, is so valuable. We don't understand, we waste it. Devatas, imagine people pray to Devatas. Indra, the king of heaven, Agni, the god of fire, Vayu, the god of wind, Indraya namaha swaha, Ganaya namaha swaha, Vayave namaha swaha. But those same Devatas are praying and begging God for what? This thing called human birth, human body. If only we understood how valuable it is, we would not waste this golden opportunity. Will not waste it. So, human birth. Number two, mumukshutva. A yearning, a longing for God. I want to see God. I want to find God. I want to attain His divine vision. And number three, Mahapurusha Sambhavaha. To get the association of a true saint, the true Guru. This is even more difficult. So, not everyone has an interest. So we should not despair. Whatever you have done in the path of bhakti, whatever little, that will benefit you in the next life. You will go forward. That person doesn't fall. Again, Shri Krishna says, Prapi punyakitam lokanushitva shaswati samaha shuchinam shrimatam gehu yoga bhrashto bhijayate. Yoga Prash. Someone is fallen from the path. Is practicing, has made a lot of efforts, but due to some circumstances, laziness, some carelessness, bad sanskars, falls. So, but they have done a lot of bhakti. So, prapya punya kitam loka, punya loka. That a person attains the punya loka, he goes to heaven, swarga, for a long, shashwati samaha, for a long time, enjoys it, for a long time. But what happens? Shuchinam shrimatam gehu. When that person, after enjoying in heaven, they are given birth in the human form. After enjoying for a long time, doesn't fall like normal souls. It's because, remember, it's not doing punya. It's like rituals, etc. Dharma, but bhakti. So now, in the next life, what happens is born in a home, Shuchina. Very pious, religious, devotional home. The home is very, in other words, not in the home of drunkards, fight and quarrel every day. Not in the home where there's fight and quarrel, problem. No, this home is very devotional. Everybody has interest in Bhagavan. Chanting, praying. Suchina or Srimatam. The home is very prosperous too. Very devotional and very prosperous. This is an exception to the rule. You see, there's a rule, divine rule. Yaha hai, waha nahi hai. Yaha nahi hai, waha hai. So the rule is, people who have lots in this material world, yaha hai, they have material wealth, big amount, huge, beauty, status, etc. They normally have no time for God. Such people have no time. The scripture goes, it is easier, in the Bible it says, it is easier for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than for... Why? It brings arrogance. Nahi koas janma jag mahi prabhuta pahi jahi madanahi. Ramayana, Tulsidas says there never was, is, or will there be such a person who have acquired something in excess in the material world. Position, wealth, status, beauty, something, and has not become arrogant. It brings arrogance. So, normally those people don't have an inclination towards God. Aur yaha nahi hai, waha hai. There's also a rule. They don't have much in the world, but they think about God. They have time for God. But now he's saying here, yaha hai, waha hai. They have here prosperous, their family is prosperous, and yet they have interest in God, they love God. This is because they had done great devotion in the past. This is the exception to the rule. Even though there's excess wealth, they may have beauty, they have everything in the world, yet they remain detached. No attachment. It has no effect on them. They have no attachment. Their mind remain attached to God. This is very rare, but they are few. This is what called yoga bhrasht. So they are born in such an environment, in such a home, that very quickly they can even go further. Such a person. So, you should not despair. Arjuna said. Bhagavan is saying to Arjuna, we should not despair. Don't think, look, oh boy, I am so old, I have so little bit of time, or maybe I didn't make a good effort, I'm going to go to hell anyhow. No, every little bit you practice, especially those people who are doing sadhana, who are satsang, who are sadhak. Whatever little bit you benefit, that's going to help you. It's plus. If you don't do, then what would you have to come back? The more you do, the more you will have. Every little bit it goes in the spiritual bank. Just like in the material world. How do people become millionaires, etc.? $1. They start from little amount, but they keep putting. They don't eat, they starve themselves, etc. Starve the family. Keep away from things just to get the wealth to increase. Of course, everything stays here. You don't take it with you. In the same way, in the spiritual bank. But that one goes with you. The more you put in there, that will stay with you forever. So keep adding to the spiritual bank. In other words, keep doing bhakti, keep focusing your mind, keep doing sadhana regularly. It will help you. The bhajan says, O Lord, hey Shri Krishna, you are my only support in life. My only support. I have nothing to, I don't care about the world or things or people in the world. You are everything I care about. This world is like an illusion because there's no happiness here. All the relations, everything. This maya. Even this breath, this body, this ana jana. This is illusionary. The only true thing is your name. Thinking about you, doing devotion to you, my Lord. Take the Lord and color the mind with the color of Shri Krishna. Rangade. Rangado. Color the mind with the color of Shri Krishna. Let it become colored with Shri Krishna. Rangagai Giridhar. And the mind become detached from the world. You live in the world. You have everything. As I said last night, you don't have to give up anything physically. You don't have to give up the house, the bank balance, the wife, the husband, the children. No. Inside. From inside, there's no attachment. The attachment is with the mind, not physical. I have become yours. I have become a pujari of your love. I keep taking your name all the time. Your name has become like a star in my mind. I find I've fallen in love with your name, my Lord. Please, I want to attain your darshan. I want to have your vision. And that day that I attain that, all my worries will be destroyed. This life of mine is only offering in your lotus feet. This is the light of my life. Please let it light. Please take my shoulder, put your hand on my shoulder, hey Shyam, hey Shri Krishna, that I know you're with me all the time. One of the mic is pulling it. Take that one off. Valvari जीने के सहारा तेरा नाम है So, Sri Krishna goes on to say, Athva yogi nameva kule bhavati dhimata etadhi durlabhataram loke etadhi durlabhataram loke janma yadi disham. Chapter 6 verse 42 Gita. So either he's born in a home that is very pious, very religious, spiritual, but not religious, spiritual is a better word. You can be religious but not spiritual. It's a big difference. Very spiritual home, very pious home, that is very prosperous. Shuchinam Shrimatam. Or he can be born in the home of Dhimatam. He can be born Yoginam Dhimata. In the home of a great saint. It can be, if the devotion is so high, has not attained God realization, 90%, 95%, bhakti. There's a little bit left. Such a soul can be born in the home of a saint. Just my Guru has said, Jagat Gurutam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. Such a birth is very rare. Durlabhataram, extremely rare in this world, loke. So Dhimata, Yoginam Dhimata, one with great knowledge and topmost among yogi. In other words, the saint. Bhakti Yoga is being meant here. So can be born in the home of a saint. But such a birth is extremely rare. And how does it happen? They have to have done great bhakti, great devotion in their past life. As a result, very high, reach a very high stage. Very, very rare. But it does happen. It can happen. To be born in the home of a saint. Or, what does Maharaj Sri Krishna say? Tattatam buddhi sanyogam labate paurvadehikam yatate chatato bhuyah sansiddhau kurunandana. So, due to the sanskar from previous birth, again and again this is coming in. Paurvadehikam. Nothing happens by guess or coincidence in the spiritual world. Nothing happens. when I met my Guru, I was searching. It's an example, not a boasting here. Just to help you understand what is mean of sanskar in the past life. So, I was searching to find a true Guru. And after searching for a long time, I happened to reach the ashram. Not going to go in great detail how it happened, it's out of this world. Unbelievable. Anyhow, I happened to reach there, Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. But, of course, didn't know who he was. To me, he was just a Swami. Met many Swamis. And there was something called sadhana program was going on, where people come from all over the world, 5 weeks. Very strict. Keep mouth, can't talk, worldly talk. Only take in the name of God. Even the food is given name of God. You want roti, Radhe Radhe. Rice, Gaura Hari. Talkari, vegetable, Shyam Sundar. So everything, you take in God's name all the time. Anyhow, spending a few days and not understanding bhakti, that time I was more like a jnani. I had read a lot of books, many swamis, etc. That's how part of it, that desire to find the true Guru. I was about to leave. I told a friend went with me, and I said to him, look, there's nothing here. I had promised I'll come with you, but this is it. Let's go. Let's leave. About 2 or 3 days had passed, 4 for the most. And he agreed. We packed our bags. That evening I went and sat in the sadhana hall where bhajan was going on. In my mind I'm saying bye, and something happened to me. I'm not going to tell you what it is. The Guru wasn't there, he was in his home, not in the hall. Anyhow, I told my friend, you can go. I'm going to stay a few more days. I'll be alright. I didn't tell him why. So he left. And then now, I met one of my Guru's sannyasi preachers at that time. And asked if I can have a conversation. I want to talk about what's going on. And they agreed, and they said so and so time, meet them in place. And then I met the person and told them what happened, and they were very happy that they said you were very fortunate. Guru has showered his grace upon you. Anyhow, so I asked, can I meet the Guru? Can I speak to him? Yeah, he meets everyone. Does he speak in English? That time I did not know Hindi. The Sanskrit. No, he speaks only in Hindi. How can I talk to him? Or I'll translate for you. So we went and was told, etc. Many things I asked. One of the things I asked him, this is what you have given to me, something divine. I've gotten a divine experience. Why did you give it to me? I have done nothing in this lifetime to deserve this. Nothing. Why did you give such a valuable thing? And then he said, Sanskari ji, that you have done something in the past life to deserve. It doesn't happen by guess, not coincidence. So here Sri Krishna is saying, Parvadehika. Due to some great bhakti, devotion that you have done in the past life. Parvadehikam. So, due to that sanskars, I told you last night, sanskar, the mental tendencies stored in the mind from the past life. It's called sanskar. It pushes you. That's why some people are by nature very evil, very bad, because they have done so much wrong things in the past life when they had human birth. It could not be immediately. They may have rotated over 8.4 million forms, but when they had the human birth, they were very bad. So the mind is so bad that the sanskars, the tendencies is so bad that they only want to kill. They get happiness in killing and doing very bad things, evil. A person is very devotional. You in the family and everybody, nobody has any interest in God. Mother, father, nobody. No brother, no sister, you alone have this great interest. You want to hear about God, you want to be in puja, you want to go to mandir. in satsang from the past life. You know, scientists talks about genes, that if you have two parents and have this kind of genes, this will make this kind of children. Stupidness, hogwash. Parents has nothing to do with what the child is. We all come with a package. The actions we perform in any lifetime get stored in our mind as sanchit karma. In this lifetime is called purusharth, the freedom to perform action. The actions I perform in this lifetime, Shri Krishna gives us free will. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Chapter 2, verse 47. He gives us the right, He gives us free will, do whatever you want. But He says, I reserve the right to give the fruit. He gives the fruit accordingly. And everybody does different action. What does that have to do with the parent? Blood has nothing to do with anything. We're born in a home, in a situation, many reasons. One is attachment, one is sanskars, many different things. Actions we perform. So we all perform different actions. That action in this lifetime is called purusharth. In the next lifetime it is called bhagya, destiny. This is where destiny comes from. We make destiny. This, I explained this one of the nights in the Katha. It doesn't fall from the sky, it's not written in any book. We make destiny. We create destiny. And that's why everyone, you have 5 people in a family, everybody different. This one like baigan, that one doesn't like baigan, this one only want to eat this thing, that one only. Everybody is different. And you wonder, what is this craziness? I have 5 children, they should be all like my children, they should be like me. No. In the home of a sage, Rakshas can be born. Paulus Simuni, Rahul. And in the home of saint, Rakshas, saint is born. Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad. Greatest Rakshas, Hiranyakashipu. Parents does not do that. We come with our sanskars. We come in a certain way, with interests, with certain interests. This is due to the actions I did in my past life. And you come with that. So those are the tendencies stored in there. So that person retains that. You don't lose that, especially bhakti, devotion. That's spiritual consciousness. Buddhi yogam. That buddhi yogam, that stays with you. That's spiritual consciousness. And he strives even harder. Because you come with so much. You were not careless and lazy. Yeah, you didn't attain it. But you have that spiritual consciousness. So, yatatta sansiddhau, you strive even harder now. That this lifetime I'm going to do it. I'm going to attain God realization. I'm going to see Krishna. I'm going to see Radharani. You strive even harder. Purvabhyasena tenaiva hiyate yavasho pisah jigyasurapi yogasya Shabda Brahmati Vartate. It spoke about this. Well, here Sri Krishna is saying. So the one before was chapter 6, verse 43. Right? 42, that one can be born in the home of a saint. 43, due to the sanskars from the past life, that spiritual consciousness stay with you, and you strive even harder. Now he says in chapter 6, verse 44, so again due to the sanskars from the previous birth, again purvabhyasena, from previous birth, he is naturally attracted to spirituality, to God, to devotion, to worship, spirituality. That jigyasu, remember I told you the word jigyasu? Here it comes in this verse. Chapter 6, verse 44. It comes very clear here. Here. Jigyasu rapi yogas. Yeah. Comes very clearly, jigyasu. So that jigyasu is that yearning, that mumukshutva, that lalasa is called, as in Brij Bhasha, a yearning, a longing for God, to be spiritual, devotional. That naturally comes. So, and he says, not only that, that jigyasu, that mumukshutva is superior
to Shabda Brahma. The word comes here, Shabda Brahmati Bhaktate. What is a Shabda Brahma? One only does read books, perform Vedic rites and rituals. I told you, just doing rituals. Only when there's some problem you want to do puja. If you have 1% even of jigyasu, that yearning and longing for God, that person is, Shri Krishna says, is far superior to a person of perform of just Vedic rites and rituals, who just reads book and has this abhiman, I know everything. I read Ved, I read Gita, I read Ramayana, I read Bhagavad. I can challenge you. Like that. So, that only comes when we do in this lifetime. This is why we have to keep doing bhakti. No matter what the situation, no matter what happens, don't give up. We'll blame all kinds of things why we can't be in satsang, why we can't be doing our sadhana. No. Don't be lazy, don't be careless. Remember, we can die any moment. No one knows when this weekend. We make all kind of excuse, and then we can, in the next moment you can die. What are you going to say to Bhagavan? I have given you so much opportunity. Did you make use of it? And Yamraj will say, go to this hell, Vaitarani Nadi, go here, this Raurava Nara, Kumbhi Park. Oh, this is some real big, there are many hells. And he will tell you which one you have to go. I'm not going? That's alright, they'll take you there. So we can die any moment. Knowing that, then we have to practice. The more we practice, the more effort we make, the more we'll benefit. And remember, the more we'll have for the next time. And that will also determine where we are born, in which environment. So much we benefit. So don't be lazy, don't be careless. Finally, I'm going to last verse here. Yoginam api sarvesham margate nantaratmana shradhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Chapter 6, verse 47. This is the last verse of chapter 6, Gita. Shri Krishna says, of all the yogis, there are many kinds of yogis. Karma yogi, jnana yogi, the yogi who does exercise, bhakti yogi, there are so many. Of all the yogis, Shri Krishna says, those whose mind is joined with me in bhakti, margate nantaratmana. Those whose mind is joined with Shri Krishna in love, in bhakti. That kind of yogi. In other words, the bhakti yogi, Shraddhavan, with full faith that there's Bhagavan. You're doing sadhana, but you I wonder if there's a Bhagavan. I wonder if Shri Krishna. I wonder if my Guru is a saint. No. Shraddhavan, full faith. And devotes himself to me, Shri Krishna says. Bhajate yomam. Devotes himself to me. He is considered to be the greatest of all yogis, the greatest of all bhakti yogis. The greatest of all yogis. Isse bara nahi hai. So, we have to strive to be in that way. This is the teaching of the Gita. He said, I would like to sing a few lines of a bhajan. I know Pandit told me I have so many tonight, but chant in the name and bhakti. Shri Krishna does talk about how important bhakti is. So in the book, if you have the book, page 52, this bhajan glorifies Radha Rani. It says, Man karu sumiran Radha, O mind. Remember, meditate on Radha Rani all the time. Hey, Jeevan Dhan Radha. Radha Rani is the treasure of my life, of your life. Shamahu Swami Radhe. If Radha Rani is the Swami, the governess of even Shri Krishna, Jayati, Jayati, Jayati Radhe. Glory, all glory to Radhe, Radha Rani. Ratu Nitya Naam Radha. Chant the name of Radha Rani all the time. Nitya gavu gunan Radha. Chant the glories of Radha Rani, her virtues. Nitya dhyava huchavi Radha. Meditate on the beautiful form of Radha Rani. All glories to Radha Rani. Vidhi Hari Hara Bhaja. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all worship Radha Rani. Uma, Rama, Durga, Lakshmi, they all worship Radha Rani. All the gopis, they worship, everyone worships Radha Rani. Man karu sumiran Radha, hai jeevan dhan Radha, Shyama Swamini Radha.
Radha
Jai Jai Shri Ram.